Kwenza manje phi. I can't move today, I'm speechless. No, I'm joking, I'm excited. Good evening, everyone, and once again, welcome to your favorite show. It's called That's Deep, all the way from Tito Kang Productions, the daughter company of Ruth K Foundation. Kona manje sine energy because and of course I'm not here alone. I'm here with Ulisa Khomotali, who's going to tell us more. Where have you been this past weekend? And if you missed this is the time for you to actually find out what happened.
Evening, everyone. Narele Kotaum, Northwest Province. Great event, Ruth K, on the 28th of October. And we had a GBV march. We had a topic that we were discussing with community members. Kgodiso ya Ngwana wa mosimane le wa mosetsana. And we had a great time. We'll tell you more as time goes by during the show.
Now, I know you guys already know that Ruth K Foundation is all about educating and planting a good seed. And of course, when we were in Down, as much as we had a great time, the biggest thing that we did is we shared some information, and as a result, educating those who are in the community. You know, as Tito Kang, we always want to tackle the deepest part of the matter. And this time, Kgodiso ya Ngwana, and how it relates to gender-based violence, which is a common challenge in all our communities, especially in our rural areas. And you know, Rona, so all the time, but of course, you might be watching and you're thinking, so gender-based violence affects us all, Kgodiso ya Ngwana affects us all. So listen in and hear us. We had this wonderful event. Oh my. She's playing the thing. I wonder she's on.
Hello.
Of things. We've got our newest recruit, Unom Samulefe. She's all the way in Gauteng representing Tito Kang. And of course, she's very Ruth K because that's another company, but like, remote Tito Kang. So I'd like to welcome Unom Sa and give her a round of applause.
Hey guys. How are you?
Hi, Namsa. How are you?
Well, thanks, and you?
Yeah, very happy to have you. And so how's Joburg today?
The weather is bad, but we're surviving. Thanks for inviting me.
Hey, we missed you. We missed you in Taum, but I know you were working. So yeah, we've got all the news, all the scoop about Taum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear.
You can't wait.
Yeah, so let's
as you know, it was present. Our supporters were there, our sponsors came out, and the community and people that we were working with, they were there. So yeah, I think Ruth K is growing. It's this is actually the furthest we have gone in Northwest.
See that.
You know, so it was great to see that. But yeah,
it was a full house.
Yeah, it was a full house.
So the topic ya Kgodiso ya Ngwana wa moshimane le wa mosetsana. Did you manage to talk about it?
Yes, in great detail. But prior to that, we had presenters from Department of Justice who were facilitating, who brought a topic about gender. And I think they did a great justice. They educated us. And
were you playing on the justice word, or did it just come up?
No, it just came. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So they gave us a lot of information. I think that all of us benefited from it, and how it could have impact on issues relating to GBV, issues relating to Kgodiso ya ngwana wa moshemane le wa mosetsana.
So can summarize what you were saying. Gore simple, we don't have information, we don't know. Ne? Sentse re ithute gore ha ba re L, ba re B or ba re G. Ba re L mang nomsa. Ki L, B, G, Q, C, I.
Yeah.
What do they mean? So I think that topic became a very important topic because a lot of us are not aware of what's going on. And when it comes to raising our children, we're also not aware what's happening. We understand we go with that. But it's definitely deeper than that. And I know, Luana, I'm saying you have some information when it comes to this topic. And for some reason, I wish you would go corner, but I'm glad that, you know, Runa, we were there listening out and educating ourselves, and hopefully we'll be able to share some information today. Maybe one or two things about what was said about gender.
I think the important thing was that gender comprised of two things. It's the physical part of it, and what we see, and then also the internal part of it, which we don't see with hormones and all that could that could actually impact on gender as a whole.
So that's what the other person feels.
Yeah. I think actually, especially when you go rural areas, it's not easy for you to like know hore am I a girl or a boy hore like me for an example. When I was growing up, I as a girl, obviously, I'm a girl, but you're not attracted to guys. You are expected to be dating a guy, not a girl. Why are you feeling the way you're feeling? Because hauna education or why only the way you are. So when you're growing up, I don't know, for a as batsadi ba itse dilo tse di so, they must educate you as well as a kid. Or no, it's fine, it's natural to be feeling like that. And yeah.
But I think the fair thing to say, you know what I'm saying, I think we all have been part of your journey in particular. Oguti, nati as batsadi, or you know, the family members, khariti. And that was the thing that we're trying to drive to say, let's educate each other. You know, in the past, this is what we know. Key girl, key boy, we're done. And then the expectations, they come after that.
Yeah.
So the education of the parent becomes paramount, because there's no way you can share information to the child.
And to guide the child, because you know, when they raised an issue back in the days when there was Mojale and Bokhwer, where a child would be brought the rite of passage to adulthood, or you know. So when you're a teenager and you are going through these changes you are going through, you need guidance. You know, you need someone to hold your hand. I mean, just having, you know, hair starting to grow in your armpits is a serious issue when you don't know what's going on. You need someone to sit you down and tell you X and Y will happen. Expect it. When it happens, this is what you're supposed to do. The same with feelings and all that. That you know, you need a confident someone you can confide in, and mostly you need an adult, you know, to help you through that. I think for me, what was most important was the conversation we are supposed to have with our children. How do we help them during that time? But what we were discussing the other day, of saying that, you know, most of the things, if they are approached with love, you know, they tend to go well, or they can be handled better. And and also to realize that it's about the child.
Not about you.
It's not about you. Because the one thing that tends to come across in our communities is that we don't see a matter. You know, you know, but if we come with, this is my child, and love comes first. You know what? And love doesn't have to understand at that time. You don't have to know. All you have to know is like, I love this child. Cover with love and grow in knowledge with the child. Go and seek information. I think that's what I got.
Oh, OP just got cut off, but the important thing that we're hearing here is that educating ourselves and educating those around us is what would help us to deal with all these issues. Because of course, we as a parent, you're expected to know, but half the time we actually don't.
Half the time we wing it. Eh?
Half the time we are winging it. We are just going by the flow. But it is about time that we open our eyes, our ears, and we listen out to what's happening in the world. And I think with Tito Kang being a production company that focuses a lot on the African child, we need to be asking the question, Uguti, as an African child, how do we deal with this? Because there's so many set paths, you know, this is what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to grow up, wa Kgodiswa, wa ya sekolong, ha o fetsa wa nyala, o kreya bana. And what happens if you don't take that path? Now, I don't want us to steer too much away from the topic of Kgodiso ya Ngwana, but we understand that this gender identification is an issue, especially amongst us as African people, and maybe because of the information that we don't have or are not willing to accept. You know, there's a lot of acceptance. And I think one of the panelists that was speaking about acceptance, if you have not accepted as a parent the condition ya ngwana gago or the situation ya ngwana gago, it's difficult for you to accept the child. But before we actually go into the details, I want to just say, Muti, so the idea was, yes, we are raising awareness about gender-based violence. Yes, we did the march. We had the cyclists cycling, we had our billboards, we did aerobics. And as Ruth K, we believe a lot in being creative around sharing information, because we know, I'm going for aerobics. My figure, there's information.
And there were people at Taung, I must say, there were cyclists from Taung who joined the cyclists that came in, Mushawane cyclists, which was quite great to have them there. I think bringing things that people do and using them as a medium of communicating the message is kudos for
it's revolutionary, because Ruth K is going to the world again.
Exactly.
Ruth K to the world, baby. So from all that activity, we then said, "Aye, man, there is a dialogue that needs to happen. We need to sit and we need to call in people who are relevant and sit around the table and discuss this issue. And maybe when we do that, we will be enlightened, because of course, we're not saying we know it all. We don't. We brought in experts. We brought in Kgosi because we respect also a protocol, and we started talking about the issue of Kgodiso ya Ngwana. So maybe there's information that you want to find out. A lot happened. I don't know, Nomsa, if there's more that you'd like to know about the particular day.
So I don't know. I wish I was there actually. So how was the Queen? I heard she got a marriage proposal there.
Wow, we're not spilling the beans. People must just subscribe and follow, and then here with you, Mashawaruna, guys.
But she was fine. I must say she's great. She's great. She's a real ambassador. We're grateful for her leadership, for building this organization, for the change and the vision that she's providing. So, yeah.
And for yes, when I know guys, okay, let me respect Sadi Kwena. What a lot of us fail to do. She's heading to the core.
Yeah.
People will ask her, why would you go to Taung? she's not deciding, I like that one. No, she's guided, So that's what makes Ruth K very powerful. Lukuti, whatever step we take, now Ruth Msadikwena hears from the other level, and then she tells us, and then now we're like, okay, Ari, so the anointing and the direction that she's receiving, she's hitting to the core, and kudos for that.
Yeah.
Kudos for that. So she was absolutely fine. That was our next question, please.
And when is the next event happening? The next year?
I think I need my phone for that.
We'll have to check on that on the calendar. The October is normally our biggest event, but
yeah,
I think second biggest, baby, because the wellness charity drive, April is actually huge.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got the dates here, Nomsana. So the 27th of April, we are having the 4th annual fitness, fun, and charity drive. Then the 27th of July, the vegetable and fruits charity drive. That's where you're going to be planting vegetables. And then August the 24th, we're doing Banabotle toiletry. And people are always looking at our information and not knowing how to assist. I think this is a prime opportunity for us to share this information, that should you feel the urge to be part or partner or sponsor Ruth K, it's a simple thing. It's as simple as sharing your skill, sharing a resource that you have available. So if you feel like the thing that touches you is toiletry drive, and you feel like a girl child should never go without sanitary pads, then you join in with that. You help us with that. You choose a school in your area, we come and we assist you with that. If you feel like farming and agriculture is your thing, then you join us on that. So we are trying to say this giving process doesn't have to be blanket and tin stuff. Fair. What are the other ways that we can actually contribute? Okay, before I go on and on, because I'm like that. Then on the 26th, we're doing the annual, and this is the 6th gender-based violence annual charity drive. And then lastly, on the 30th of November, we'll be doing the plum charity drive. Sorry, busy. So that's
where we are with the tribe and what we are doing as Ruth K. But Kgodiso Ngwana as the main topic was how the day-to-day. What I liked about the conversation, it was about the day-to-day. Every day, a boy and a girl in the house, how do you do it? So one of the things that the panelists said was that they must learn the chores, and teach the little girl how to hold a spade and how to actually do the physical work. And teach the little boy that you need to wash dishes, you need to cook. So if this week is the boys' chance to wash the dishes, he must wash the dishes. And if it's the girls' chance, maybe to put, if you are living in the village, to put the animals in the crop, teach her to do that. So that and what they said, that panelist, the lady said, was that it's life skills. If you are not giving the child all the skills, and the skill is not gender based.
It's not about
a boy or a girl. It's about being skilled. I really liked it because some of our of guys in our age group, you end up doing the fat and sit because you kind of don't know how to
how is Papa?
How to do a pay 2 liter and two drumstick and then party mo
okay.
You see, so that was the thing of saying give them skills.
I think it's very important. It prepares them for marriage as well. when you are married, you're not gonna sit on the couch and let the wife cook, whereas when you are just sitting there. So it helps as well to have a very
Yes, yes.
But I think another important thing that they were raising also, Hore, why is it that Ngwana wa ngwanyana, go toa, you are being prepared for lenyalo? Or hella, everything that they do is
motherhood.
Yes, you're preparing for motherhood. And then Mushimane is not being prepared for marriage. So how does the lenyalo? Lesego is not prepared for marriage. Now I'm over prepared.
You end up mothering the husband now.
Even now, I don't do those things. Lesego, it becomes aggressive. Because you are a slave. You must do all these chores.
Yes.
And I think another important part that they said was a gender-based violence comes from unequal power.
Yes.
For me, that was the thing that kept ringing in my head. So wherever there is unequal power in the intimate relationship, then there will be violence sometimes. You know, because the guy, the power is what there is unequal.
I think that topic also, the unequal power, if I remember the conversation also, it was, can it happen that there's gender-based violence between people of the same sex? Yes. Which that was if there is unequal power, you may find that if in an intimate relationship of same sex, then you would find that there's also abuse of some sort. You know, so that we don't put GBV between a man and a woman.
So with the LGBTQI, there is also
abuse, and it must also come to the surface that we don't have any relationships that are destroying people.
Okay, for example, if I was working and my partner as well, and then she lose a merego and then she's still working.
Yeah.
And then she feels like, now she's doing everything and then I must obey her and do this and do that. Obviously, why are you treating me this way all of a sudden because I'm not working?
Yes. Yeah.
So jealousy as well. Yes. True.
Yeah. So
I would disrespect that all of a sudden. Yeah.
But why when I want to respect you? I will respect that. Or you just no, it's a question because when one of the facilitators decided, no, guys, this topic needs the kids to be involved. And one of the things that the kids raised was we want to be respected by our parents. And I'm just asking this, we are in an intimate relationship, whether it's boy and boy, girl and girl, or boy and girl, whichever the situation is as it allows. And the one person feels, the Seko feels good, he must be respected. The big question is the Seko respecting me so that I can reciprocate that?
I think respect is a two-way. It's a two-way thing. And I always say, to love someone, you cannot say, I love you, and not, I respect you. You know, for me, you cannot disrespect a person yet love them. I find it difficult. In my own head, it doesn't work. Because if I love you, your opinion will matter. And how I treat you will matter. Your feelings will matter. And if anything about you is of importance to me, I will show respect to your concerns. How do you beat up someone that you respect.
No, because I respect you and I can.
Right. So,
Yeah.
so sometimes people who cry about respect are the most disrespectful people.
But I'll tell you what, you guys, you are fortunate in the sense that everything about you is based in love. You know?
Yeah.
You said this earlier on. Everything. Mina, I came into this family and I was like, my God, how do you let this one do what they're doing? And you guys are just like, you're like, no. You know, so everything you guys do starts from them. And this is one thing that I really love about your family. And so that, like the Bible says, covers a multitude of things, because things that should be an issue are not an issue.
Yeah.
So for me, it's easy to disrespect a person and love them for some reason, because I know how that can work.
So also it's easy to respect and hate and dislike.
Yeah, of course, I cannot like you a lot. You're my manager, but meaning you've said this, okay, Mphat, we are better. What are you doing in Mphat?
No, I'm in an intimate relationship.
Okay,
Yeah.
No problem. It doesn't necessarily, for me personally, those two things, they don't sit in the same.
In my head, it doesn't work.
That's because of your family is set up. And I think coming back to the topic, Kgodiso Ngwana, is how were you raised? You know, what were you exposed to? What does love mean to you? What does respect mean to you? And what does malume mean to you? Because for some of us, malume is a great thing, a great person to embrace. You must know, Guti, when you are in the arms of malume, you are safe. But that's not true for everyone. And there was a question that you asked when you were on offline, and so I think maybe we should go back to that question, because it leads a lot to Kgodiso Ngwana as well as gender-based violence, as you would have mentioned earlier.
Yes, so as I was saying, Kore, when how then there's a malume. So when I want to follow maluma sunane, because ke maloma gago dilo, it's normal for your uncle to kiss you. Ya a simolla go tshwara matsweleng or marago or eng le wena o le ngwana, cause you not a o itse gore go iragalang, but then because ke maloma gago o tla nagana gore no go siame, and then a simolla ire dilo a go nyomele bosigo robetse without your parents knowing ka yone gore why maloma ira so, then it ends up a go rape. A sena go rape a bolela ka mokgone gore tshwantse ska bolela ka ska bua ka roka bua, mme o tla go threaten ke tla go bolaya gore if o ka bolela mama gago le papa gago ba tlo swa ba bana le tse di tshwanang le tseo. So wena ha o le ngwana vele o ka senya go gore if nka bolela mama I don't want to lose my mother, I don't want to lose my father, so it's better gore ke didimale. So I feel like highly yalo, when you grow up in an impact impact your life that.
So
Bless you.
Bless him indeed.
Thank you.
No, but this guy is blessed already. I'm joking.
I think I mean, Nomsa, one of the issues that is important as we raise children is communication. It's taking time to listen. The kids at Dawood said, they must listen.
They mustn't think they have all the answers.
They must just listen. And they must respect us. It's because we don't listen that we don't get to hear our children's cry. And it's because we are not paying attention. We're glossing over a lot of issues. Every day, we're busy. And we don't see this fragile soul that we are trying to raise. I one of Slow's friends said, we live with our children, but we are not raising them. You know,
So one day
yeah, easy. Mara ha re bone hore go diragalang. And I think in our times, we need to teach our children very early to draw lines. To say, I cannot be threatened.
I cannot be touched.
I cannot be touched. You know, and they should know appropriate ways. And as a parent, set the boundaries.
Even additional to that, Rato, the kid knows, but the parents, they want to hide the information.
They want to hide information.
Because they don't want the family to be associated with this embarrassing thing. So Rataba,
and that's what Mashaba raised in her speech, that Ngwana wa biso mo lapeng, and the stepmother knows. You know, and you know, we cover these things instead of saying
Africans cover
that is wrong.
Yeah, Africans
so Rona as Ruth K, we're saying we are empowering children, we're empowering communities that so that children are not abused. An abused child becomes an abuser tomorrow. You know,
true.
Because they are hurt.
And they don't know where to
put this thing. So wherever we go, we need to deal with this because I think really what's happening is the abuse of children over time, that it shows later on in life, you know.
But I wanted to come back to what you were saying, Jorge. For you, love and respect can be separated. Now, Malume wa go rata. Wa go rata Malume, you know that?
Yes.
Mara Malume wa go tshwara in an inappropriate way. So where do you now separate this?
You see, because now we have not taught this thing of, you know, we respect you, we respect your boundaries as a child. We have not taught you that there's boundaries as a child. So I just it's one of those things that we need to
I think the topic is really a topic that needs to be talked about more openly. And as I was saying to you earlier on, we need to call the spade a spade. Mina, in my household, sex is sex. And when they ask Kuti, how is the baby made? At this age, they must understand so that they don't get influence and information from other people. And when they say, yes, my mom wants to this other girl in class like this, I will immediately let them know, you know, when it comes to you, don't you ever allow anyone to treat you like that, because that is classified as a. So I think us not being scared to say things the way that they are, as Africans, it's not no. Abuse is abuse, and it affects the child mentally more than anything. And sometimes the way back is not easy. No, Omuntu does not recover from it.
Yeah.
You know, they are tarnished forever. What I wanted to share, do you want to say something, Namsa?
No, agreeing with what you're saying.
You're agreeing with what I'm saying. So what I wanted to share with our panelist was not just anyone, right? We chose people from the different organizations, and as Ruth K Foundation, we believe a lot in collaboration. We can't do this alone. It's a very heavy and difficult task to take through. So we had our SAPS was there. We had the different departments, and we had a representation from the mayor's house. We also had non-profit organization. And I think the organization that stood out for me was an organization that assists people living with disabilities, because we had a representative there who was very vocal about how he was raised and how he's able to speak out about things, because from his family he felt acceptance. You were part of
the gentleman, what he really, the statement he made is that, you know, we also in our discussions, we need to discuss the people who are living with a disability and how these kind of issues can impact them. But he also said that his parents having accepted the fact that he's disabled, he's got a disability, helped him to grow up as a confident person.
And he was very confident.
And be encouraged to go out there and experience the world. And I think as our take in Ruthke, what may have happened to you does not determine the rest of your life. So you must go out there and be the best that you can be.
Live your life.
Live your life.
Be the light.
Yeah.
And we as Uguti P or Nomsa, as you are known now in the MC, you know, that we had with the program director, he had a personal story to share. And there's nothing more convincing than experience.
Yeah.
You know, he has a background that is not so comfortable, but yet today he is making, you know, he's becoming that light that he wants to see in the world. Also mentioning as part of his introduction that at some stage he was almost in a position where he would have been sexually abused. But fortunately for him, I think Kwafriga, some parents who was assisting. So we understand that this thing is not about 2000. This thing is old and we can't keep quiet about it. And as Ruth K, we honestly stand against anything that says you are abusing me because I'm a female. You are abusing me because I identify as different than what you know. So we are honestly saying that we can no longer sit and watch, but we're going to speak up about this, and maybe one or two people, whether it's a victim or a perpetrator, will get help and try and see that they're actually living with that challenge.
Yeah.
So that was Taumpi. That's how everything went. That's the discussions we had. Kgodiso ya ngwana mosimane le mosetsana e santse e tswelela. I think we scratched the surface.
Only just.
We only just scratched the surface, but we trust for people who were there will continue. I think our eyes have been opened that re ba fe le dijo tsa mowa re dule le bone re utlwe gore ba lla kaeng re ba tlotle re ba rate re ba rute gore ba nne le di-boundaries and ba ska ba tshaba. Going forward, I trust Ruth K will continue with this, continue taking it to other communities and to be actively raising a child.
Whether it's a boy or a girl.
Whether it's a boy or a girl. And auto pilot. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it went. We had fun also.
We always do.
Have fun. You know, we are dealing with deep issues. Yeah. We would have missed
especially
you there.
The bokeh you guys are like screaming and stuff.
The following day, but yeah, we're grateful for what God has given us, this medium, this vehicle of Ruth K, Tito Kang. We welcome you in as part of our host team, and we trust that you will represent us there in Joburg.
She's already doing it. Did you not see the ad that she did? The girl was doing the most. And I just wanted to say, Uguti, happy belated birthday to our Masuchava, Musadi Gwen. And you guys must look out for the brand Gwena, Musadi daughter.
Yeah.
But let's not go into that so much now. She was turning 21, was it?
No, 19.
How old is she turning 9? I'm losing track.
I'm not saying that anyway.
Happy belated birthday to
Mashaba.
our visionary, to the one who is listening out to the calling, who is directing the whole family, the whole organization, and doing great things, and really not having much of her own, but taking what she has and sharing with the nation. And as Roke and Tito Kang, we are super, 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 super proud to be part of this organization. There's no place better that we'd rather be in.
Okay.
The foundation with a pink heart and a mind of its own. And welcome to Onom. So guys, let's give her a round of applause for one. We need a technical guy who's gonna play the music.
You are the technical guy, you do the things, you know how to do it. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you so much and good night. Signing out from Tito Kang Studios.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Night.
When you think about
I'll learn it next week.
it. And then I'm like, bye. Ciao, ciao.